Morning, sunshines, and it really is morning. It's 11, so it's close to morning. It's before noon. That's all that matters to me. Normally, I don't get off work this late. My schedule at Target is usually 4:30 to like 8:15 because the truck comes in at 2:30, and that's what I do. I unload the truck and stock the store before open. They move the time from 4 to 2:30 or 2 because they're getting closer to the holiday season. But I'm not getting up that early. Though I might start doing it just to get hours. Either way, my availability right now is set at 4:30, so I usually work 4:30 to like 8:15, but today I was working 4:30 to 11 because they scheduled me originally for Sunday 4:30 to 11, but I wasn't here. I was out of town, so they moved the shift to Wednesday, which is today, and I totally forgot that I was supposed to be there till 11 until I went in there, and I was like, oh shit, I don't get to go home yet. So I did end up getting let go about 30 minutes early because there's nothing left for me to do, which was cool. But update about the ball. So I know I said that I was going to be flying into Fayetteville in my last video. That didn't happen. It was never my intention to fly into Fayetteville. Okay, I had intentions of flying, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna drive. I'm gonna surprise Daniel. Let him think I'm flying into Fayetteville. Well, first I let him think I was flying to Charlotte. And then I realized, holy crap, Charlotte's a 3-hour drive, so I'd have to get there 3 hours prior to when my flight was supposed to land. So I could keep him from leaving for Charlotte. Because otherwise it's a wasted trip and a waste of gas, and I would have felt awful. So what I ended up doing was I told him that they overbooked my flight into Charlotte, and they offered me another flight, basically, at a later time. And I told him that I explained the situation, why I was flying into North Carolina, and why I really would really rather have had that early flight. And I was like, well, can I just change it to a different airport? Like, I know that I was going through Delta. It's like, I know Delta goes to Fayetteville. Can I just fly into Fayetteville instead? And, told him that, the lady had to go talk to her manager, and the manager was like, yeah, that's fine. We'll do that for her, whatever. That's not something airports do. They don't let you fly into other airports. So I just was kind of like, yeah, they said they do it. I've never heard of it happen before. He didn't question it, nothing. So he thought I was flying to Fayetteville at like 9:30 in the morning. I ended up getting into Fayetteville after my 8-hour drive at like 6:30 in the morning, right after they closed the road that his barracks are off of for PT. So they closed the road for like an hour so people can run on it, obviously. So I got there at like 6:36. I was like, they just closed it, so I couldn't get to his barracks. And so I sat in the PX parking lot for an hour and waited till they reopened the road. And then I went down to parked in his barracks parking lot, went up to his barracks, and I called him because he told me to call him when I got to when I got my layover, because I was laying over in Chicago before I went to Fayetteville from Louisville. Excuse me. So I called him from Chicago, and I talked to him for a little bit. I hung up the phone just to make sure that he was awake, and then I knocked on his door. Didn't answer. Knocked on his door again. Didn't answer. So I started beating on his door. And he heard the beating, and he's sitting there in his room going, who the crap is beating on my door? I'm gonna kill him. He texts his roommate, and he says, who would be beating on our door right now? His roommate's, of course, at PT. And so Denny's like, I have no idea. Denny didn't know I was there. Denny knew I was driving in, and Denny knew I was surprising him, but he didn't know that I would be there that early. He thought I would be there later. So he's like, I don't know who it could be. Amanda's not here yet. Sam's not here yet. I still slip up and call myself Amanda sometimes. It's weird. I'll introduce myself as Sam, but I call myself Amanda. I'm getting used to this name change thing. So, I ended up I text him. I was like, you're making this difficult. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, answer your door. Except I use expletives. I'm trying to censor myself for YouTube right now. And so he gets up and he answers the door, and of course it's me on the other side, and all he can say is, you're a turd. Which I thought was hilarious. I haven't been called a turd since like maybe the 3rd grade. There was lots of hugs, and it was good. And then, went back and go into his dorm, obviously, and talk for a little bit, and he's like, you must be tired. You just drove 8 hours overnight. You must be exhausted. And I was like, no, not really. And I sat down on his bed, and he was like, no, just, you're tired. Just take a nap. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And I lay down and out. I was exhausted, apparently. I think we slept a good portion of Friday away, which, you know, was not my intention, but it was nice getting to sleep next to him. So very nice. So very nice. So Friday was kind of a bust of anything to do because I slept most of the day. We ended up staying in a hotel Friday night because he didn't want to stay in the barracks, and I didn't really want to stay in the barracks, and yeah, you can probably put 2 and 2 together. And then Saturday was ball day. Checked out of the hotel, went back to the barracks. I don't remember what he did while we were there. I forget what he was doing. I think he was putting pins and stuff on his uniform and finishing the touches and shit. And I got to play Assassin's Creed Unity for a little bit, which was cool. It's not bad. I mean, I didn't play too much of it, so I can't pass an opinion on it yet. And we watched Boondock Saints with his roommate Denny, and then I got ready for the ball. He got ready for the ball. It took him just as long to get ready as it took me. And all I did was makeup and hair, and his uniform is, if you know anything about military dress blues, they're ridiculous. It's a monkey suit. So we got ready and went down the hallway to one of his friends' rooms, whose girlfriend flew in from New York, and she was getting ready, and we didn't go together, but they followed us to the hotel where it was being held, went to the ball, met a bunch of his friends in his unit. Actual ball happens. The food was okay. Very bland. Very bland. My dad would be disappointed. But it wasn't bad. You loaded it down with salt and you couldn't really tell. I did some dancing, like with the other girls at the table. Didn't do any dancing with Daniel. It's okay. I'm not big into dancing, like slow dancing. And the only dancing I really did with the other girls was like, they played, I don't remember the name of the song. It's one of those songs I played all the time in high school. So, you know, slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross, that one. They played that song. So I danced to that one with one of the girls at the table. But it was fun. It was a good evening. Went back after Denny came and picked us up because at first Daniel was like, I'm not going to drink, I'll drive. Because he's not allowed to drive if he drinks at all, per Army regulations. Makes sense. Then he's like, fuck it, I'm drinking. And so we got Denny to pick us up and went back to the barracks, slept again. Good night, yay. Next morning, so on Friday, he finds out that he's got a 24-hour staff duty on Sunday. Sunday I'm supposed to leave, but I was going to leave like at night and then drive overnight again and then come to Kentucky, sleep until I had to work at 4 o'clock at night that afternoon. But he found out that he had a 24-hour staff duty and no one would cover it. No one he asked, at least. And so we got someone to sit in for the first couple hours, and he went in at 1 instead of 9 a.m. And so he got to spend the morning with me, which was nice. It just sucked that, you know, Friday he finds out he gets a 24-hour staff duty, and I'm there. And it's like, it sucked. But whatever. It is what it is. Yay, Army. So then I drove home, and now I'm here, obviously. It is the Wednesday after the weekend. It is 8 days until Thanksgiving, so 8 days until I get to see him again. He's coming up Thanksgiving. I don't know what day he's leaving, if he's gonna leave Wednesday after work, if he's gonna sleep a little bit and then leave late Wednesday, early Thursday. I have no idea what his plans are. But he's gonna be here for Thanksgiving dinner, and then he's gonna be here Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and he goes home on Sunday. And it's gonna be a glorious 4-day weekend, because he's gonna be here. And then after he leaves, I won't see him again until New Year's Eve, and that, you know, span of a month plus. No, it's about a month. That span of a month is going to suck so much. So much. The first month I didn't get to see him sucked. And then I got to see him again for the ball. And then I get to see him 2 weeks later. And it's like, I'm going to get overdosed on it. No, not overdosed. I'm going to get spoiled. But it'll be nice. Either way, it'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to going to Arkansas and meeting his family and seeing the things he wants to show me, like Pinnacle Mountain and stuff. My opinion of Little Rock was tainted several years ago, like 2009-ish area, by a boy, who shall remain nameless. But yeah, my opinion of Little Rock was kind of tainted by this experience. That, and I went in the middle of winter, which I'm going in the middle of winter again, but, you know, whatever. But I'm hoping that things will change. My opinion of military balls changed since the Marine Corps one I went to last year. I had fun, but mostly because my friend Liz was there with me. If she hadn't been there, I probably would have had a miserable time. Because my date sucked. I don't know. At the time, I didn't think it was a bad experience. But then going to the Army Ball this past weekend, I was like, oh no, the Army Ball blew this one out of the water. Like, blew the Marine Corps ball out of the water. Just because Daniel was very attentive. He involved me a lot in conversations. He introduced me to a lot of people. And I felt like he wanted me there, which was really nice. They had a speech by a guest speaker, Chief Master Sergeant retired. I don't remember his name now. Yeah. But at one point he was, thanking everybody for their service, because even though he's been in service, he was thanking everybody. And then he was like, and I know that just about everyone here has a woman with them. Some of you might have a man. Some of the women might have a woman. But what I want you to do is I want you to look at her, or him, take their hand, look them straight in the eye, and tell them you love them. I didn't hear you. Say it again, louder. And then the entire room, of course, choruses, I love you. And I was like, oh, this is really cute. That had to be kind of awkward for one of the girls at the table, because I don't know if she was dating the guy that she came with, or if they were just friends, or if they were just freshly dating. And so you're going, it's a good thing that Daniel and I have already exchanged the L word, because otherwise this could be weird. But when Chief Master Sergeant retired so-and-so tells you to say I love you to the girl you're with, you say I love you to the girl you're with. I don't know. It was a fun experience. Hate having to be home, especially because this is like the coldest it's been in forever at this time of year. Like, right now I think it's 29 degrees outside with a wind chill of 11. Let me tell you how much I love the cold. I don't. The cold is Daniel's thing. Cold is not my thing. I mean, I'm okay with it so long as I can bundle up and don't have to be out in it long. And if it's not super windy, but it's super windy right now. And so I need like a ski mask because my face gets cold. Like, I wear a hat and I wear gloves, so my ears and my hands are fine, but my face gets cold because the wind is so strong. So very strong. I need to wear like a ski mask or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's really all that's going on. I cannot wait till next weekend, or till next Thursday. I'm super excited. Like, yeah, words can't even describe. I recently reconnected with an old friend of mine, and I was talking to her about Daniel and all the feels and stuff, and she's like, I have never seen this side of you. This is awesome. I'm so glad you're happy. Blah, blah, blah. I went over and hung out with an old friend from high school yesterday, and he was like, I never thought that this would happen. I never thought that you would be this whipped. And I'm not whipped. That's not the word he meant to use, but that's what he said. He didn't think that it would ever happen, that I would find somebody that I felt this strongly about. Or anything like that. I never thought I'd find somebody that I felt this strongly about, honestly. So, it's cool that everyone can see what he does to me, even though I don't like that. I do and don't like that fact. I like that everyone can tell that I really am into this guy, but I don't like the fact that everyone can tell that I'm really into this guy, because I'm not the kind of person who wears my emotions on my sleeve. I'm a very internal person. I keep things to myself, unless I feel you need to know that how I feel about you. But for the most part, I'm very stoic and blank, and you just almost never know what's on my mind. However, The second I start talking about him, I smile. See, even Didge is there. So, it's cool. I guess. It is. It's just weird and different. And now I'm rambling. I do that often. But this is about 15 minutes long and full of nothing. Hopefully I'll have something better to update with later. Maybe. We'll see. But enjoy your day. And I will talk to you kids later. Bye.